Hello beautiful people, welcome back. It's back again to the roots of the poultry farm here. Wow, the chicks here and they're now growing a little bit and everything is very fantastic. Wow, one. I like this. Look at how big they are now. They're so big enough right now. Wow, look at them. So they are now very big. Exactly. So guys, I'm starting this video from my home here a little bit, and I'm rushing to the fish farm so as I can bring you more of the vibe coming out and get more of the knowledge coming out from the fish farm. And I'm just heading to that position so as we can get the reliable access and how we're gonna be starting the maintenance of the fish ponds today. So keep it in touch, keep it locked. It's _Gintu, back again to the roots, and from the poultry farm here I see things are now moving helter-skelter. Exactly, I like this. Wow, now they're even bringing the color. The color now is coming out. Wow, I like this. Hello farm people and important people, wherever you are, welcome back. It's _Gintu. Today we're going to be tackling about the fish ponds of today, and at my backyard here you can even see the relevant fish pond. I'm just besides them, and I want to be tackling today about the fish pond of today. And for the first time people who want to have such kind of the fish ponds, and they want to start up such kind of a project, or they have harvested some fish and they have caught some miscellaneous challenges that have been facing them, or they have been facing them onto the field. Today I'm gonna be elaborating and making sure that you have to get more of the point from the field, which is today, and I'm gonna be advising you on what to do. And follow this video so as we can start up this kind of a project of fish farming today, one-on-one from this Gene Farm Fisheries. Hence, guys, and to my backside here, I have relevant 3 fish ponds onto this sector, and every fish pond has its own significance of drying, and also we have a different type of water getting in, and the inside water, which is I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to get in, so as I'm going to show you more about what is happening. And right now here you can even see, as the way I'm stepping in, I've left this kind of the fish pond to dry up. But we have much of the small talk about small organisms still enjoying leisure to these fish ponds here. And guys, by now it's now drying, and I can just speak about it's whenever you want to have your fish pond drying onto this area, you have to make sure that you leave it for 2 to 3 weeks as it can dry out, and firmly it can just have some of the cracks, which this kind of the soil is silt. And also whenever you have much sunlight and whenever you subject it to drying, it's gonna be having some cracks. Whenever, even sometimes it's called a clay soil that is onto this position, but whenever it's dry it's crack, and it can just have some cracks onto it. But by now I have some miscellaneous challenges I can just talk about, because this fish pond has much water retention and has much water content coming from this top side area of this fish pond. I'm gonna be checking on how water is coming from this top area, and it's much water. You can even see from this position we have much water, and this is where water is coming from. Exactly, look at this. This is where water is coming from. So all of this and to that far end is a water area, and such kind of the miscellaneous challenges we have. So this kind of a fish pond can never be subjected into drying. So in such kind of a reason, now we can just speak out, is that whenever you have to make it, if it doesn't dry, like right now it's not drying up, I want to be making sure that I want to be having but I've left it to 2 to 3 weeks as it can dry. And if it's not drying much, because I have 3 types of fish pond, I'm going to be showing you more relevant pictures and videos coming out from every kind of a fish pond and its contentious content of drying and how the silt it is. And I'm going to be giving you more of the relevant response on how we're going to be treating such kind of the fish pond coming out from this section. And guys, you can even see right now here we have some we call them phytoplanktons and zooplanktons now, and this is the background of the fish pond. this is the bottom of the fish pond. And for the people who want to know more about what is phytoplanktons, what is the zooplanktons, now we are stepping at the bottom of the fish pond. And here we're going to be tackling about now we have some of the grass now is coming out, and this kind of a creamy substance, it's called the algae, and most of the guys will call it algae, some people call it algae. So by now we have algae now coming out, and it means that we have zooplanktons and phytoplanktons now coming out, and we're gonna be having much tension about this fish pond here. And this is the main aim whenever we have fertilization of the pond via the use of commercial fertilizers or the use of organic fertilizers like manure, like the cow dung direct, and also we have chime. So it will now depend on you which kind of fertilizing or fertilizer you are using onto your pond. And as me, I'm just using much of the local material to sustain my sustainabilities, as much of the commercial fertilizers are going and gaining much of talk about the cost is going up much times. And by me, I can be just advising for the people who are just starting such kind of the fish pond, use the local material and you will get a bumper harvest coming out from your fish pond. And this is part of now treating the fish pond to have a unique and necessary fish onto your pond. And let me start by talking about you know, we have segments on how you have to make sure that you want to stock the fish onto your ponds. And the drying of the fish pond is the main reason, because most of the guys will talk about why are you letting it to be stagnant, that way maybe we shall have much of the plants growing inside here, and they're gonna be bringing chaos, as much time will be needed as you have to uproot them out. But it's not the necessary case. Let me say this: as far as you have left water to dry, or this fish pond to dry out, it means that we want to be killing some of the bacteria, some of the insects, some of talk about the fungicides that are inside here, and also we have tadpoles, the eggs of the tadpoles and such kind of the tadpoles inside here. So whenever you let it dry, it's going to be facilitating such kind of the organisms to be paved or pave way as they go out, and you should not acknowledge much of the wild fish and also the tadpoles that might hinder the challenges of you stocking the fish pond. Because now if we have I'm going to be going to the second fish pond, as I'm going to show you much about what the fish pond it means, and to this position. As here you can even see we have much of the algae concentration coming out from this fish pond, and now it's drying from other sections. The upper section is more wet, and this down area now it's a little bit now drier because much water is coming from the top side. Here it's a little bit dry, but I told you I have 3 fish ponds here, and I want to be showing you more about the relevant response from all the 3 fish ponds and how the drying position is. And it's going to be reflecting to your fish ponds, maybe wherever you have, because they are and to this top side we have this one at the down area, and we have the other one from the other section. So I'm going to be tackling the second fish pond here, so as we can learn more about how the drying of this fish pond is uptaken onto this position. So let me go to the down area, as I'm going to be tackling much of because this fish pond here, its own water is coming, it's a natural water, and it's coming from the top side of this fish pond, which is onto this area here. So I'm going to get in and I show you the drying capacity of these fish ponds here. Wow, guys, and also whenever we are talking about we have much of the things that we have to tackle as the fish pond. We have some terminologies like whenever you have some fish onto your fish pond, and you see sometimes they have to dig at the dikes. This is a big dike, which is a passway where people are going to be passing and getting round of the fish pond and to this area. But we have such kind of look at these stuffs here. So some fish are just digging inside of this kind of the dikes, so as they can just hide whenever maybe sometimes it's for leisure, sometimes they have been given food. So like this fish pond here, we have much of in terms of the slope of the fish pond, much water is retained into this area, and we have much of the we talk about the animals, which is the organisms running inside here. We have much of them. Look at them. Look at them. Exactly. And even to this position, look at them. We have wild fish. Look at it. We have wild fish. So these ones here now will hinder what is called the production rate of the second crop. Whenever we have to stock the second time, it's called now cropping for the second time. But for one fish pond is called the crop. So whenever I have to stock this fish pond, I'm going to be having already such kind of water inside here, and it has extra organisms like wild tilapia fish, and we have much of the tadpoles also, and some of the insects are inside here. So I cannot stock this fish pond because these are already called the predators to the fish. Because whenever if we have some insect here and we stock here, or we stock this fish pond right now, and we can be experiencing much of we talk about predation from the insects which are already existing onto this fish pond, and they're gonna be hindering much of the growing rate and also the consumption rate and competition to the pond. So and to this fish pond here, at least we have some footsteps here, but I know this is from the owls, and look at this. So I know this from the owls, and also we have much of let's talk about heron, and also we have marabou stocks. They're always getting around because now I have opened this fish pond. It's now looking more firm, and also it's empty, and now we can have much of the predators coming to search for the food, like the small fish, which are the wild fish that are congested into this water, because it cannot go out all, because this area now, it's a little bit of a rainy season, so we have such kind of a complication of drying up such kind of a fish pond because of the rainy season, and also high water content coming from down of the fish pond. And also you can see now the footstep of the talk about the marabou stocks are inside here searching for the food. So guys, whenever we talk about now the drying of the pond, this pond is not going to dry because of high water content coming out from this fish pond, because it's a clay area, and also we can talk about it's a swampy area. We have much of the water content coming from down and to the work of capillary manner. So we don't have much of the drainage area from this position. So whenever I talk about this soil must be cracking, such kind of the cracks I'm talking about, these ones here. So the whole fish pond, if you want it to be more secure, it should be having such kind of the cracks that are developing onto the pond. So as even this kind of the cracks, whenever all the soil is cracking, so it's starting from talk about the sides of the fish pond. So it's gonna be cracking even right now. You can see how it's cracking from the sides. So it's now coming to this inside here. But we have much water here. It cannot crack much, as we have water content staying retained onto the fish pond. So guys, such kind of the cracks here, they're going to be bringing much of the aeration, because this area here, there's no much aeration. As I am just passing the way you see my footsteps here, it means that now I'm aerating the fish pond. And to this middle area, I can see now it's starting to crack. Look at this. Look at this. So it's starting to crack. So such kind of the cracks are what we need into this fish pond, so as we can assure ourselves that we can have much of the aeration of the pond. And also, you know, we have been doing fertilization of the pond. as the fertilization of the pond has been kicking over, and also from the production rate of the cropping from the first time until right now, we have been fertilizing the pond. So we have much of the silt inside here of the fish pond. And also for the people who are talking about why can't you remove such kind of the silt, guys, I'm telling you the fact is look at where even my leg is up to. So you cannot remove such kind of the silt from here, and not unless it's dry. Like the segment of this fish pond here, you can remove such kind of the ones that have been drying up, because it's so easy via the use of a spade. But some positions are so in terms of deep, they're so deep. And also I see development of the algae. This is how algae development is starting. You can never notice, and it's a little bit of we talk about it's starting like a creamy solution, and also a greenish solution to the ground, which is the bottom level of the fish pond. And also the insects we are talking about, such kind of the impact of the insects, these ones, they look like a hilltop, but small ones. And I don't know which kind of this one, the insect prescribed such kind of heaping of small soil, and it's rolled, it's coiled. And I want to be going to more of the details about why is it this soil rolled, and why is it looking such kind of an way, and which kind of the animals are bringing such a kind of the response to the fish pond. So even right now here, you can even see where my leg is. It means that this silt is much. Wow. So for the people who want to start up a fish pond, so it wanna be a more hard way, because to make sure that everything is running in an equivalent manner, you should make sure that every step is monitored. And such kind of the drying of the pond is one of the steps that one should follow, and make sure that you are getting to a proper maintenance of the ponds, so as everything gonna be in equivalent manner. As you're going to stock your fish, everything gonna be displayed well. Let me go to the third fish pond, as I'm going to elaborate more about what is happening to the third fish pond. Wow. Let me go in. Let me start by saying this. Let me show you the tadpoles. Look at this. Look at this. These are the tadpoles. These are the tadpoles. There are so many. There are so many. So it means that I opened this fish pond via a big drainage area and to that far end. And whenever I drain the water outside of this fish pond, we have something by the name paddles. And to get the real fact about whatever I want to mean is, whenever we have paddles are such kind of water pots, like this one here. It's a water pot. They are just inside here, and they are holding much water, and they cannot release such kind of water because they are spotted inside here. So like here we have water pots. They're called paddles. These ones here, they're called paddles. So these ones here, whenever you want to drain the fish pond, you cannot drain the whole fish pond out of water out of this fish pond once and for all. Because I've shown you at the start of this third fish pond, we have much of the tadpoles now are developing. And this is the larvae, because we have the stages of the development of the tadpoles. Now they are now small ones. They are now fries, tadpole fries. It means that if you have to close this water not to get out via this position. Let me go to this area, as I can now elaborate it more physically, and you can just understand what I mean from this position. This is a drainage pipe, drainage area that I opened so as water can go out via this place. So my concern is one. whenever we have you want to close such kind of a drainage so as water can accumulate, because we have some different routes of water coming out from this position. We have this one here, we have this one here joining up to this place here. So we have to close here, and water will accumulate onto this fish pond. So it means that water will accumulate onto the fish pond and it will be full. So the tadpoles we have inside here, it means that they're gonna be developing and they're gonna be staying onto this fish pond for long much. And we have much wind, guys, coming from this segment, and I don't know if it's a winter in Africa now. I don't know, but we have much wind. You have to bear with the circumstances of the wind. And also, guys, I was talking about now, you are stocking a fish pond that has already frogs. So the frogs will act as predators already, because as much as you are going to bring here some of the fish which are the fries, or you are bringing some of the fingerlings onto the fish pond, it means that the frogs will have been so growing into a size that even they can swallow a fingerling that's very small. Exactly. So to make sure that everything is proportional, I want to be draining this fish pond, and that's why I've left it to dry for 3 weeks, at a minimum of 3 weeks mostly. And I want to be applying calcium oxide, which is more of a preferably for the people who are agriculturists. I'm talking about agricultural lime. And whenever I want to be spraying it or sprinkling it around the fish pond all over, it's going to be killing all the organisms, including bacteria, including insects, including the tadpoles, and every kind of the creature that's inside here. And it's gonna be killing all the phytoplanktons and zooplanktons as they're gonna be going to start again. So onto this fish pond we have let me see, even this fish pond we have a challenge of burrows. We have much burrows inside here, so you can even see how it's looking like onto this position. So we have some fish coming inside here, but these ones are acting as a layer zone, and this is where they lay some eggs and reproduction of other small fish. So for the people who want to start up such kind of a project, and this is the segment that is covering much attention about the aquaculture or the aqua fish farming for the small holders, because this, I have 3 fish ponds. It means that it's a little bit small production of the fish coming out from this segment. So for the starting people, I want to be now giving you more of the relevant responses coming out from this position, as you're going to be tackling much of the things if you want to have a fish pond and rear some fish at your comfort zone. And also, as far as everything in concern, we shall be tackling about you know, you have an area, you want to have a fish pond at your area. So we have some challenges that are going to be affecting us as much of the money, because to construct such kind of a fish pond, it is 300 meters square onto this position. So you can see how it's just looking like onto this position. So let me be at a panel that you can even see much about it. So these are 300 meters square a fish pond, and it's also reflecting to this one. This 300 meters square exactly to this, even this position here. So it means that if you want to have a stocking capacity, it must be 3 fish per feet square, per meter square. Hey bro, how are you? Unaenda kuoga? Hey, mambo, uko fiti? Eh, bogi ni genje. Wagwan. Yeah, my friends here, everything is possible. So have a little pathway here because people are passing through, and they're going to be accessing to their accessories where they're gonna be heading to. So I was talking about the fish ponds, how they are in terms of the big size. So it will now differ from you whom you want to dig a fish pond. So for at least for the starting people, if you want to have a fish pond, it's gonna be such kind of a 300-meter square of the fish pond. We have much wind here. We have much wind here. We have much wind. Wow. Guys, and to this pond here, we have such kind of stuffs. They are like maybe feces for something, but to new technology, or these are the nutrients that now they are decomposing onto the fish pond, and they are now bringing what's called now the algae concentration, like this one here, onto the pond. So you can even see now it's covering, it's coming to cover everything onto the pond. So if you have to be more sincere, so we have much of even some small fish that look at even this one. We have a small fish which is now dying. These are a wild fish. I can even touch it, then I can show you. Look at this. It's a small fingerling, and this one here now, if we can just circle much of the response about it, it means that it's a wild fish, because look at how it is. So it's a little bit longer from to the tail. So this one here, it cannot do well whenever you subject them onto the pond and leave them surviving onto the pond. So these ones here, whenever we have 2 weeks or from 2 months only, they're gonna be laying eggs and multiplying onto the pond, which is making the fish pond to have more congestion of the fish. And 2 months only, they're gonna be laying. And you know, a fish, whenever it starts laying, it lays much of the eggs. So you cannot expect to have more competition onto the pond. So it means that you should make sure that you remove them out, and they're gonna not bring some harm in terms of competition and food uptake of the pond, because whenever you have much of them and overstocking, you're gonna be experiencing much of wasting much of the resources to what is even not growing. So you might find using much of the feeds, and people will just asking themselves, oh, I saw you were having much of the food, bringing much of the food to the fish, and why are not them growing? So we have much of the fish inside here which are not even relevant, and they have to be get out from this position, so as you can have much of the fish onto the pond. Wow. Be making a pathway here so this water can go out. Exactly. So this water will have to get a pathway and get out. So it's coming out. So that one from that far end is gonna be getting the pathway, and it's gonna be following the channel, and it's gonna be going out via this drainage area. Wow. And it's directed direct to the river, and the river is just besides here, and everything is very fantastic. Guys, a little bit we have the wind has a little bit gone down. So I was talking about we having the fish pond here 300 meter square, and there are all three of them here. And if you want to have a stocking capacity of the fish, so for the people who want to start up such kind of a project, you should make sure that you have a professional person who will come and measure for you and make sure that everything is going to an equivalence of the agriculture, or we have some of the offices that are managing, or we talk about the agricultural zone or area at your constituency or at your county. So me, I never relied on the government, but I just made it manually via my own people, which is I used manpower to dig out such kind of the ponds and to this position, and such kind of a big pond and to this position was dug by the people, not a machine. So you should have a person who is more knowledgeable and skilled, so who can just help you make sure that your fish ponds are coming out as clear. And also, it's not that anywhere or everywhere you can have a fish pond. You should have to consider this kind of the things I'm going to talk about. If you have a place, maybe you want to have an earthen fish pond, because first of all, you have an idea of having a fish pond. Yes. Now, which kind of a fish pond do you want to have? We have earthen fish ponds, we have liner, we have cages, we have aquariums, we have hoppers, and also we have a flying beam fish pond, the constructed one. And also we have a tank fish pond. So for you to select which kind of a fish pond you want to have, me, I have, these are called earthen fish ponds coming out from this segment. Maybe you want to have liners. Liners are the ones using the polythene papers as they're gonna be retaining water, as no drainage gonna be happening. So it will now differ which is your place you want to have a fish pond from. So maybe it's a swampy area like the area I am, because water is coming from every section. Look at this. Water is coming from every section. This is a swampy area going to that place. So even this area was a swampy area too. So for you to select a best place for the earthen fish ponds, it means that there's no liners and you depend on natural water, maybe coming out from the same pond, or you might be having the inlets that might be bringing water onto your pond. But to me here, my ponds rely on natural water coming from the same pond. I don't rely on inlet or such kind of bringing water in from other routes. So guys, as you have determined now which kind of a pond or from your place you want to construct a pond, to now differ which kind of a pond you're going to be constructing. Exactly. And you bring the person who is specified to gauge the soil pH of that area. And whenever the soil pH is maybe acidic, they're gonna be using much of, because if the soil is acidic, it means that even water onto that area, it might be acidic. Exactly. So you're gonna be using agricultural lime, as you're gonna be boosting, making sure that you're gonna be getting the or alkalinizing that area to have an alkalinity soil or alkaline pH of that area, and it's gonna be from 7 to 11. Exactly. And that 11 gonna be a basic way ever possible of liming your pond and to gauge it into a way that you're gonna be rearing some fish. Excuse me a little bit, guys. So guys, we have a flue coming out from this position because it's like a winter. It's like a winter time. So you have to bear with the circumstances. Sometimes you have the flu, sometimes you have tonsils. Exactly. So I was tackling such kind of a question of from now selection of the soil and water pH. Now you can have to know that now you can even dig your pond and excavate it out and make it as such kind of a pond by the gauges. And if you want to be a good farmer of fish farming, you should have a measuring tape, you should have a weighing scale of fish, and also you should have a weighing scale of we talk about the feeds. Exactly. And also you should be monitoring everything as per as you see this fish pond here, it's gonna be the first stage for the people who have harvested and want to gain more experience of how or you have been getting some fish which are not even at the size of your comfort. But now I'm gonna be directing you direct to if you want to stock much of the fish and maybe never overstock your fish pond. Because now I'm tackling from the basic route of the underground, how to start up and maintain it. So follow the video, and I want to be giving you more of the response on how to make sure that you are liming the pond, which is using of calcium oxide and killing all the pathogens that are found onto your fish ponds. And from that now we're going to be going to the second stage of making sure that you seal the drainage areas and water accumulate, as it's going to be diluting such kind of the carbon, talk about calcium oxide inside your pond and killing all the pathogens. You make sure that all the whenever you are sprinkling the calcium oxide, the pathogens, the organisms, they are dying. You seeing them dying exactly. So if they're not even drying up, make sure that you have the agricultural or the lime that's working, because here this is sometimes you have the goons who might be hindering your emotions that oh, this stuff is working, maybe it's not even working anymore. So you should be very keen about the aggro things you are just going to buy, because sometimes you might buy things that have expired, because such kind of calcium oxide or agricultural lime, using it, it's a little bit rare. So some people might take it as an advantage. Maybe they stocked it onto their area as a stock, and then it's not being buyable. So they can just sell you things that are not even good for you to use onto your pond. So as you determine everything and consideration, make sure that you are now making sure that the agricultural lime is sprinkled all over. Even from don't think that even the segments are dry, like this area here, it's a little bit dry. No, make sure that these are just the dikes. Make sure that everywhere gets such kind of because we have the crawling insects, we have talk about the bacteria are everywhere. So whenever you sprinkle it everywhere, it means that it's going to be touching every corner of the fish pond. And never release water to the river, because it's a little bit infectious, and it's going to be misleading or bringing some chaos to the river, or notify the people that you might be having to release water that is having so much of the chemicals to the river. Exactly. So this is the start, and you're going to be following much of the videos on how we're going to be making sure that the fish ponds are treated, and we have accountability in terms of fish farming, because aquaculture and also agriculture is the backbone of the economy. So if you have to treat everything in an equivalent manner, it means that we shall have bumper harvest, and it means that we shall have much product coming out in this blue economy from Kenya. And this is the fish pond history coming out from my farm, Gene Fish Farm, and we're going to be tackling much of the tension coming out from our farmers and who wants to learn about the Athens fish pond and all the fish ponds across the world. Keep it in touch, keep it locked. Things are coming more lit from outside here. Keep it in touch. Wagwan guys.